Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all good. So I bring you another video in association with Walrus Audio. Some of you guys that have been following this channel for a while, you'll definitely have seen gear videos of Walrus Audio products. Love those guys, love their pedals, love the graphics on their pedals, love the general sound of their pedals and the vibes they go for. I always think they get it right when it comes to their effects and pedal concepts, so I'm really excited to check this one out. Today we are looking at the Mako series R1, which is their brand new all-stereo MIDI programmable reverb. Before I get into this video, I just need to let you know that this video is sponsored. Walrus Audio have paid me to check out this particular pedal, so the point of this video is for me to play through it, show you some tones, jam on it, give you some ideas of how it would be used in context, and that's basically it. Any opinions I have about this pedal, I'll put at the end of the video, and they're just my opinions, so you can take from that what you will. But anyway, let's crack on. So the Mako series from Walrus Audio, I would say, are their more advanced versions of their stomp boxes. So for the most part, when you've tried like a Fathom or an ARP87 or anything like the Iron Horse, Distortion or whatever, they are stomp boxes. So you've got your sort of small form factor, couple of controls, couple of foot switches. And over time, I've seen Walrus have started to add more sort of high tech into their pedals. So if you've got the ARP87 or the Fathom Reverb, for example, the foot switches are more like relay foot switches now, which are really nice. There's a lot more digital circuitry inside, so there's things like secondary functions and different programmability, which it makes the pedals more versatile from just being a stomp box. So I've always liked that Walrus do. But we look at the Mako series, that's taking everything like that to the nth degree. So these are fully programmable. They've got MIDI in and out. They're fully programmable with MIDI. They're true stereo. It's a whole new pedal design, and it has way more under the hood than, I guess, some of their previous pedals. The Mako series feature a delay, I believe. I was meant to review that, but it got sent and stolen, so I never got that back. That was a delay, so I'm sure that's really good, but I haven't tried it. Then they've got the ACS one, which is an amp cab simulator, which I'm going to be doing a video of as well. And now we're looking at the R1. Of course, it's reverb, so I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. You should be able to see it from the close-ups, but it's a lovely small little pedal. You got 6 knobs on the top and a couple of toggle switches, then 2 stomp switches. And of course you can see there's MIDI in and out, and you've got true stereo in and out. So yes, this video is going to be in true stereo. I'm running 2 Super Krakens in stereo with this in the loop of each one. So along the top we've got Decay, which is of course the length of the reverb trails. We've got Swell, which is a really cool feature actually. It acts as an auto swell, so the higher that is, the longer the swell takes to get to the note that you want. So that's really cool. Then we've got Mix. Then along the bottom row we've got Tweak, which references this little toggle switch here. This allows us to change and tweak, of course, the modulation side of the reverbs. So if any reverb has a particular type of modulation, like a little chorus effect or any kind of stuff like that, you can affect that with this tweak knob. Now, the toggle switch moves between rate of the modulation, depth of the modulation, and pre-delay of the reverb. And of course, you can switch between them, tweak them as you wish. And of course, we'll get into how you save it all later. Then in the middle, you've got Program, which is the type of reverb algorithm that is found in the R1. So you can start with Spring, you've got Hall, Plate, BFR, which I'm told stands for Big Reverb. Then you've got Refract and Air, which are kind of more of the weirdo kind of special stylized reverbs, as it were. Then we've got the Tune knob. This allows us to tune the low end of the reverb, the high end of the reverb, and then the X knob, which is specific to the type of reverb machine you're on. So depending on which one you use, the X will allow you to toggle the amount of the special effect within that reverb machine. So yeah, basically they've made it super tweakable, and I really like the idea of being able to use a toggle switch and use the same pot to control different parts of the effect. And the last one I need to point out is the toggle switch in the middle, which highlights the banks A, B, and C. Each bank has 3 presets, so that's 9 accessible presets from the pedal itself. But of course it is MIDI, so you can have, I think it's up to 128 different presets via MIDI. So if you use a gig rig or a ES8 or an ES5 or anything like that, you can use that to access 128 presets on the Mako R1. There's a couple of other little features, of course, things like if you want to toggle between your presets, you just press both foot switches down together and you can see the LED changes between green, blue and red. Obviously, you can turn it off. And you've got sustain latching foot switch on the right hand side as well. So any of those reverbs you choose to use, you can of course sustain them. Anyway, let's crack on. Let me get my guitar. I'm going to use the 55 Custom Shop. And the idea here is that keep the same tone there. I'll go through the different reverbs. We'll try out some of the presets and just generally see how this thing sounds. Okay, here's the sound of the guitar. Sounds good. Okay, let's try and dial in the first reverb patch, which is Spring. I'm just going to say this before we go on. The R1 isn't designed to be a traditional reverb. None of the reverbs in here are just your run-of-the-mill reverb sounds. Like all reverb pedals, they have their own tones and vibes, but the R1 is meant to be more of a reverb machine, a special effect, not just here's some Spring, here's some Hall. So let's check out the Spring. This is what we've got so far. It's like a really dark Spring. We can obviously affect that. We've got mix. I'll leave swell down for now. Take the decay down a bit. Let's take out some low end. Let's add some special effect into it. So the X knob gives it more boing or spring. Sounds like there's a bit of shimmer on there too. The thing with any kind of reverb is it's about finding the right sort of tone and the right sound. So let's try it. This is starting to sound kind of cool. So if I back off the pre-delay, just get it right a little bit. So, you know, within a few seconds I found a vibe. That could have been a section, that could have been, you know, that could have been a nice little intro or like a little break. But anyway, now that's just one sort of sound that I've got going on here. Let's have a quick listen to the modulation, what it's doing in these parts. So, it's currently set to rate. So, if I turn that up, I'm assuming depth is all the way down. So, yeah, the depth was down. So that's cool because we can start to create, if we turn the depth quite high, but the rate quite low, turn the decay up a bit. It sounds a bit more like a chorus. Okay, so we're on to one of my personal favorite reverbs. Generally, whatever reverb pedal I'm using, I like whole reverbs. I think they sound really nice. It's my kind of reverb, so first thing I'm going to do is boost the decay, take a bit of high end out, maybe add a bit more low end in. With the reverb, let's keep the mix on half, and this is swell down. Now if I turn up the swell to halfway, We can make that longer. One thing I've noticed about the swell is, depending on where you set it, obviously it changes the speed, but as soon as it's out of 0 position, it will come into effect. So, you know, irrespective of where you mix is, it's independent to the swell knob. So the swell knob I find is probably going to be really handy for layering if you're playing live, when you use a lead player, when he's not, you know, like in the worship scene, I imagine that's quite a useful tool to have on there, you know, holding these big chords and then it swells in and around the music, so that's cool. And again, it's more of an effect having that on the pedal that you can use layering up, as I say. Anyway, this is the Hall. That's a really swelly, dull, kind of moody Hall reverb. Different to what I was expecting, but I like it all the same. I can vibe with that. And again, there's plenty I can tweak if I want to. So now we're on to plate. Another one of my personal favorites is plate, generally speaking. Right, let me just make sure that we can hear. I'm going to take the depth all the way down so we're not hearing any modulation. Decay at a reasonable level, and same with mix. This is where we're at with plate so far. What I'm going to do is change the pre-delay down. Okay, let's mess. Okay, let's have a little bit of modulation and the rate sort of there too. Yeah, I think it just generally reverb makes me just get a bit lost in it all. But anyway, this is the one that I'm up for. BFR, the big reverb patch. So yeah, let's see what that does. Let's take the depth all the way out and see what we got. Okay, so you can hear it's made up of lots of different reflections. So you get the idea with the BFR. It's more of an ambient patch, I'd say. It's not overly extravagant in terms of the X knob. It's just designed to give you a big pad, big swelling pad. If you don't want to use your volume pedal, you can use the swell knob. Next, we're going to move on to Refract. So now we're going to get into the weird realms of, you know, the special reverb sounds that Walrus have been trying to go for in this pedal. Outside of you kind of, you know, spring hall plate, you know, we kind of know what we're expecting, whereas Refract, I have no idea. So let's just see what we've got. That's sick. What a weirdly cool effect. I really like that. Yeah, again, I'm getting lost because it's that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Refract, like hearing all these broken, refracting parts of sound. I don't know. But anyway, that's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Definitely a signature effect for this pedal, I'd say. So now on to the last reverb machine. This is Air. Let me try and reset. That's one thing I'd say is like if you want to listen to just the straight up, what does that reverb sound like? There's quite a little bit of messing around to do before you get there. So let's take X knob down, depth of modulation down. Okay. Oh yeah, we got swell up. Okay, all right. So I like the low and the high effect because, of course, if it's getting a bit cumbersome, you know, it's getting in the way, just back it off. And then the high end, you don't necessarily have to have the mix as high because the high end allows it to cut through more. And then we turn the rate up and the depth. I think that's an appropriately named reverb machine. It's very airy. So anyway, I've gone through all the different reverb patches and done a little bit of tweaking. I wanted to try out some of the presets because, of course, the factory presets are going to be where we'll hear the best combinations of, you know, hopefully, we'll hear the best combinations of all the settings to give us an idea of what this pedal is trying to promote in terms of reverb sounds. My assumption at this point is it's not like a standard reverb machine, you know, like something like Big Sky. It has your standard reverbs and then your weird ones. I feel like this is more aimed in the weird realm, which I like. And again, something that Walrus are quite known for is the more, you know, oddball, weirdy kind of sounds. So I'm not surprised. We're on bank A. Let's begin with the presets. So it doesn't matter what the knobs are now. I'm literally just going to be flicking through the different presets, as you can see. So we'll start on the blue. Cool. So that refracting vibes. Now the red preset. I might have accidentally saved over this one. I don't think that's what it was meant to be. Whoops. Okay, this is the green preset. So that's like got a little bit of, I think that's the BFR. Okay, so let's move on to bank B, or 2, whatever you want to call it. And we'll start with the blue one. Here we go. So use the swell knob. Good. Right, red preset. Heavy modulation, nice decay. I'd probably take a bit of high end out. Anyway, and green preset. one's epic. Banksy. The blue preset. Messing around. Red preset. It's kind of cool. Maybe. Right, last preset. It's like a chorus, like a dull kind of chorus modulated reverb thing. Of course, when you turn the decay all the way up, it's essentially doing the same as a sustain or latching, which is what I would use that for. If I was just wanting to play over the top of something, I just hold down the sustain button. So like, let me find a sound we want to use. It's the same as doing this. What is it about Infinite Decay that immediately sounds epic and film-esque? If you know the answer to that, put it in the comment section. Okay, so that would wrap up this video on the Walrus Audio Mako Series R1 Reverb. The first thing I'll say is that I really enjoy the tweakability of the pedal. Easy to access the parameters, mess around with that. The 3 toggle switch idea, especially the tweak and the tune knobs, are nice. I think that's a nice way of getting more functionality out of the pedal, something this small. The next thing I'll say, and I think this is an important one, is I believe now that brands are starting to just design their own style of reverb. It's kind of like, or delay or whatever effect, but we're talking about reverb here. I feel like I can hear a Walrus reverb apart from a Strymon reverb or a Keeley reverb, you know, or like a Boss reverb, for example. I feel like I can hear the difference. Like, I haven't got a lot of experience with Free the Tone pedals, but I'm sure that's the same thing there, you know. Everyone has their own take on it, their own sort of style. And that's very apparent in the R1. So if you're thinking about getting a traditional sounding reverb pedal, it gives you traditional spring, hall, plate, you know, any of those kind of things. This will not do that. This is more about creative, soundscapey, sound design sort of reverbs for a songwriting purpose. A lot of these dwelly kind of weird, numb sounding reverbs, how you describe it, you know, I think sound really nice in context of a song in a section to back up that vibe that you're going for. Again, it's a lot of fun having the infinite reverb and the sustain and all the rest of it, and all the different programs in there, like the Rabea FR is a really nice reverb algorithm, and I love the Refract thing. But like I say, it's a stylized reverb pedal. So if you're a songwriter, you're in a band, you like weird effects, you like different effects, as well as, you know, you can get whole reverb and plate out of it. I don't think it's a traditional reverb pedal. You know, it's stereo, that's cool. It sounded really nice in stereo through the Krakens. And again, if you use MIDI switches, you've got loads of preset functionality there, which I like. All in all, I think it's about, do I like the sound of Walrus's reverb style? Because I think the functionality is second to none. I think it's really easy to use, but I think if you're into the sound of the reverbs of Walrus Audio, then this is a great option. And that's as simple as that. I have to say I really like the sound of Walrus's pedals. I actually use the Fathom and ARP87 quite a lot when I'm not using my sort of big pedal board. If I'm taking my Strat to do the kind of covered stuff that we've done with Universal Audio in the past, I usually have the Fathom and the ARP on the board. This is more the kind of thing I'd put on the big pedal board for song sections in Tosca and all that kind of stuff. But those are my opinions, so take them or leave them. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the tones and the vibes that I was trying to get with this pedal. I love working with Walrus Audio. I think they're great guys, and I really enjoy the products that they put out. So thank you to those guys for sending this over. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and of course, I will link it all in the description box. But until next time, like, subscribe, and share. I've been Rabea, and I will see you all very soon.